Welcome to Who Knew. We are fans of the current series of Doctor Who, and here we discuss our likes, dislikes, and insights into the modern regeneration of the show. Subscribe, review, and listen to us on iTunes and Stitcher, or our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WhoKnewPodcast. All our episodes are on WhoKnewPodcast.com. You can leave comments there, or email us at WhoKnewPodcast@gmail.com. We also have an Instagram and Twitter account. Tweet at us at WhoKnewPodcast, and find us on Facebook. All right, so I think last week, we found out that Russell T Davies will be returning as the showrunner for the upcoming Doctor Who when Chris Chibnall departs from the show.
Yay!
He's the one responsible for the revival in 2005. And
Isn't it Davies?
the good thing I think about this is that he will be the showrunner during the 60th anniversary in 2023. So
Thank you.
I feel like he has big things planned, so I'm excited.
What is the scuttlebutt on his reasoning? Has he said anything about it?
I don't think they've give us anything that
Just
detailed.
just your normal PR nonsense, where it's like, oh, I'm just so happy to be back, and I love Chris Chibnall, and I can't wait to watch their final episodes. It's going to be fantastic. So don't talk to me about my episodes now.
Is Jodie Whittaker leaving?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whittaker and Chibnall are exiting after this next season of theirs.
Which she already said, even a few years ago,
Yeah.
that if he leaves, she's going to leave.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I see. Okay.
That they
And
had
now-
that bond.
3 seasons as the Doctor is kind of the
Yeah.
expected.
The
Yeah, it's
unspoken
normal.
rule.
norm.
And she
So it
also
doesn't feel.
The
Well,
only
she-
thing I would say about her episodes are, though, each series so far, even though I haven't watched the last two, longer episodes, it feels like they happen in the span of a week. They really are written to feel like they happen in the span of a short period of time. They don't feel like there's adventures between the scenes that we aren't seeing
Yeah.
that really develop these characters over time. So
It's
even
also,
though
it's also a shorter season, it's not the 13
and
that
it's
we're
yeah,
used to.
and they're shorter seasons. So I kind of feel like we'll have to see what this next season brings.
Mhm.
I do feel like it feels like a blip.
and then just so you know, what's left is the next upcoming season is 6 episodes.
That's it.
And that's
Really?
it. And then
But-
they're going to do 4 specials like they did with Tenet.
Oh well, then we'll see. We'll see how it ends up feeling.
Right.
It may be perfectly fine. It's just it feels like she just became Doctor.
It does feel that way.
But I'm excited for Davis coming back just because that's the stuff that I really like from the modern run that we're doing. Like his version of storytelling, I really enjoyed.
And I hope Jodie comes back for at least a cameo or two, because I would think his writing with her would be really good.
Yeah, I wish she wasn't
Yeah.
leaving.
I have a feeling that she will show up. I mean,
It's
the 60th, the 60th, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think I absolutely love Davis coming back. I mean, seriously, for me, it was like the first bit of good news since 18 months of crap. I mean, I was so, and not 18 months of Doctor Who crap. I mean, the pandemic. It's like, oh my gosh, something really good has happened. Upon thinking about it, it's now moved into the pros definitely outweighs some cons, because there is a part of me that's like, it does feel moving backwards, but it's moving backwards to a great place. And it's also that I think Russell can bring his style of writing, and I think he has the ability to put it in a modern perspective. It's not going to feel like 2006 again.
Yeah.
I still think he can write for 2023, and it'll still feel the fun of Russell's writing. So I'm really, really jazzed about that.
If they're going to have a new Doctor, it's cool that Russell Davies is coming back to do it.
Yes.
Right.
As opposed to trying to, the same producerial voice onto a new person, which is sort of what I think. So it was Moffat with Matt Smith and Capaldi, yes?
Yes.
Mhm.
And I think that's possibly also kind of one reason why the first season, or first half season at least, of Capaldi just did not work, because it was the same person trying to have another voice. So I kind of feel like Russell's been away for so long. He's seen what the show's turned into. We're going to have a new doctor. Let's do it with the guy who started it all.
And he's done other things since then. So yeah, he's
Right.
grown and changed.
Yes.
So it's
And
not
won awards.
rewriting the old stuff. It is
Right.
new things. And it's like, oh, a new doctor for this.
I don't think, like, because my main complaint about Russell around the time that he left was the grandiosizing of the Doctor, the 10th Doctor, and things just got too big, and it was just like, all right already. So I really liked the reset.
Right.
Yes.
So I don't think he will go back to that. I think he knows he needs to start fresh. So if he's excited to do it, I'm excited to see it.
Except, okay, I totally agree with you, but I would still rather have Russell's grandiose storytelling than a story where you're telling me the Doctor's not the Doctor and the Gallifreyans
Not
are
from Gallifrey.
You know, they completely rewrote Gallifreyan history
Right.
from day one. They completely rewrote it. Now, okay, I could see until you guys are trying something, you didn't do it well. I don't like that. And I know you haven't seen it, so I'm not going to spoil anything. I do kind of like the fact that the two specials haven't even addressed it.
Yeah.
Because I think the BBC looked at the reaction to that episode and told everybody, ignore it. Oh yeah, just let it go away.
Is Sydney Newman coming back as well?
Sydney Newman's dead.
Oh, not Sydney Newman, Julie Gardner.
Yes,
Yes.
she is.
Okay, don't put that in. That's embarrassing.
That's perfect.
Is Julie Gardner? Just yeah, or you could leave it. Is Julie Gardner also coming back?
Yes.
Yes.
That's another good thing.
With her production company called Bad Wolf Productions.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I'm skeptical. I think I'm going to because I'm someone that I feel like that when we get a new showrunner, I've always enjoyed like the new perspective and the soft reboots that this show does. But it is like a creative person, or it is a showrunner that we've had before. So I don't know, like I'm not as like excited.
A lot has changed since when he wrote it, but when he came back with the series, he honored a lot of things that came before it in the classic, and he was able to bring them in, modernize them, and have it work and tie it together. I think he's going to honor what these other people have done since he's been gone and keep it as part of the whole lore and canon, but maybe alter it or change it a bit. And I trust him more than most that I've seen to try and make it work and gel it together more to make one coherent canon idea. So yes, I'm a little trepidatious as well, but I think he could do it. So.
And one last thing for me real quick is this tells me that the BBC does think that the show can have life going on. I was very worried that they were just going to cancel it, but they were trepidatious about it. And I bet you it was one of those things that was like, Russell, if you come back, we'll keep the show. Or Stephen Moffat, if you come back, we'll keep the show. And Russell said, okay. And so that the BBC does have some hope they can continue the franchise. That makes me happy.
It's going to be a very interesting study to see, a showrunner and then almost 20 years later taking that same show back. What's the distance between, I guess 1980 was the last Doctor Who before 2005?
88 or 89.
88. Yeah.
89. So
89, 96, 2005.
I think somebody said that gap of that dark years is the same gap as how long Russell's been away.
Okay, that makes sense. I just
want
hope
to say more, but
his first episode is titled Rose 2 or Lily or something like.
Lily.
Yeah.
Lily, I like it.
I don't know. I also don't know how I feel about this announcement happening before the last season has even aired. Like I don't like the
because we're all going to be waiting for the regeneration now.
But that usually happens.
But we already were, because they already had announced that they were leaving.
Yeah.
So I think they had to have this announcement now, because of the way the franchise is, people were worried it wasn't coming back.
Gotcha.
So we're doing it now. So it's like, look, everybody, we're in safe hands. We're going to wrap this up. You're going to enjoy it, and we're going to keep going. I could do an hour on this.
Thanks for tuning in to our reactions on Russell T Davies returning to Doctor Who. So what are your thoughts? Let us know, tweet at us, reach out to us on social media, and we will see you next time when the past becomes the future.
You've just listened to an episode of Who Knew?
Our wonderful theme music is by Michael Grady.
Find him on Facebook at The Universe Explodes.
All our episodes are engineered by Auburn.
You can find him at auburnbinkley.com.
You can also find this show in several places.
Follow us on Twitter at Who Knew Podcast.
Subscribe, review, and listen to us on iTunes and Stitcher.
Or our YouTube channel, youtube.com/whoknewpodcast.
All our episodes are on whoknewpodcast.com.
Visit our Facebook page.
Please leave comments, reviews, and click like to help support Who Knew Podcast.
To listen to our show on your Amazon Echo device, enable the AnyPod podcast skill. Ask AnyPod to play the Who Knew podcast.
This podcast is inspired by Doctor Who.
The longest running sci-fi show in history.
And especially the revival, spearheaded by Russell T Davies,
Thanks to Russell,
Sydney Newman,
Verity Lambert,
Ron Grainer,
Delia Derbyshire.
And all those involved in the adventures of our favorite Time Lord.
your work continues to inspire and entertain.